Hey everyone, Brent from BC Dubs coming back with another hopefully watchable video for you guys. Didn't really have a lot to bring a lot of content today. I was like, what can I do? I just been listening to a lot of records here lately out in the man cave. I was thinking, well, I don't have any new vinyl to show, but I'll show you guys what I've been spinning mostly this last month or two. Also, I'm a huge Auburn Tigers fan. Shout out to the Auburn Tigers. 12 Saturdays away from the start of the 2024 college football season, and I can't wait, man. So I've been thinking about bringing some college football content. It's something I'm really knowledgeable about, especially with my team and the Southeastern Conference in general. So I got a buddy of mine. He used to have a podcast, and he used to talk about college football on his podcast and things like that. He's got some mics. So been thinking about getting him on the channel and maybe doing some podcasts about some college football. He's a huge Florida Gators fan. I'm obviously an Auburn fan. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. Anyway, I got the album, the Window albums up here. See if you guys can guess what they are. Pretty obvious today. First one to comment in the comment section, I'll pin that comment up top. Please do me a favor. Please leave a like on this video. It really helps the channel. It helps YouTube push this video in front of other people. Trying to get up to 50 subscribers. Right now we're at 46. Trying to get up to 50 so we can live stream. And I think at that point is when I'm going to start doing some sports cards and things like that on the channel. As always, we'll listen to some music in the background. I can hear it. You guys can't hear it. I don't want to get hit with a copyright hit. And we're listening to Sponge, For All the Drugs in the World. Fantastic album. You guys heard me talk about this album multiple times on the channel. I just can't seem to take it out of the CD player. Leave This World Behind and Burn are tracks number 2 and 3 on this album. Man, fantastic. Update on that. I told you guys I was 4 away from completing the discography, and I'm gonna get 2. I'm gonna purchase 2 of them online tonight, so we'll have 2 of those coming. I did buy a record on Whatnot. I was able to get a really good deal on a Black Label Society record. It was a record store day record on colored vinyl. Hopped into a live stream. Guy didn't have a lot of rock, but he had a couple of items that were rock, but there were only like 9 people in there, and it was late at night. And I put a pre-bid in on it. He had it set a little low for the pre-bid. I thought, put a pre-bid on it. Nobody else bid against me. Got it for a steal. So look for that coming soon. I did that on Saturday night. So probably toward the end of the week. And by that time, I should have some new vinyl records and maybe a couple of new Sponge CDs to bring to you guys. So let me know if you guys would be interested in the football content. Really am passionate about that. We're coming up on football season. And without further ado, let's talk about some records that I am spinning mostly right now here in the man cave. Things that I'm really into. And just stuff like that. Sorry about the horn. There was a horn going off in the background. I think it was my neighbor in the back. Anyway, without further ado, now I've shown these records on my channel before, but I picked through about 15 or 20 of them. And just wanted to, show you guys what I'm listening to right now. Keeping the music alive. That's what I love to do. Let me know in the comments down below, what are you guys listening to, and girls listening to right now. First up, Rush's first album. This is an original pressing on Mercury. This is an American pressing, not a Canadian pressing on Mercury. This is obviously before Neil Peart. Any Rush fans will know that. I'm not a hugest fan of Rush. Just really wasn't ever a huge fan of Rush. And I put this album on, and to me, it doesn't sound like the Rush I grew up listening to on the radio. I like this more. This is more just straight up rock and roll. But just a fantastic album. There's not a bad song on this album to me. I could put this thing on and just let it spin. Fantastic record. Been listening to this a lot lately. Once again, we got a car horn going off. See if you guys can hear that. Hold on just a second. Let me take a look. Weird. Woe to the idle rich man. Sponge for all the jokes in the world. Check it out. If you haven't listened, folks, if you haven't listened to this album, do yourself a favor and give it a listen. It's just great. You guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about it. Another album that I listen to all the time, I about wore a hole in this album with my needle on my record player, is Steve Miller, Book of Dreams. Super, super clean copy of this album. Just a really trippy, as only Steve Miller can do it. Not a bad song on this record. Jungle Love is on here. Jet Atlanta's on this record. Those are the big ones, but some of my favorite is Wintertime and Wish Upon a Star are two of my favorite songs in this record. Just a cool album. Really blessed to have such a clean copy in my record collection. I'm sure they pressed 1 billion of these things, but still, I mean, this particular super clean, man. Next up, Counting Crows, August and Everything After. And you guys notice this is pretty eclectic, this mix that I'm listening to right now. But this is just one of my favorite records of all time. I mean, this is a fantastic album. Everybody knows it. Mr. Jones, Omaha, around here is just a great song. You know, he's really got a way of letting you feel the music he's singing about and kind of leading you into his story and into his world. The music and the vocals go along perfectly. Just a great album. One of the best albums of the last 20 years. Aha, 80s hair metal. Rat, Out of the Cellar. Just another really clean copy. It's the original pressing from 1984. Hey, what's not to say about Rat? Not a bad song on this record either, I don't think. You know, for hair metal, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's a good album, man. I like it. Rat, Out of the Cellar. Put these over here. They're starting to slide down a little bit. One of my favorite songs of all time is on this album here. This is Golden Earring, Cut, and just once again, just an impeccable copy of this record. It's a 1982 record, from 1982. Just clean. The song that I'm talking about here is Twilight Zone. Love it. Help, I fall into the twilight zone. Dancing through my house. Feels like being gone. Love it. Love this album. Love this song. The whole album isn't great. There is some filler on this album, but Twilight Zone, man. Radar Love. Fantastic song. Now, I never listened to this band a lot. Now, a lot of my heroes in music that I grew up listening to always talk about this particular band, how this band was inspirational to them, especially in the hard rock community. I can hear some nuance to that now that I'm listening to this band, but just a great guitar albums, just great records from back in the day. And we're talking about, this is Thin Lizzy, Johnny the Fox. They used to belong to Linda Nelson here, not anymore. And Thin Lizzy, Fighting. Once again, Linda Nelson. Got all these off of at a garage sale. And the guy said that they were clearing off a trailer, an old trailer, and they were moving it, and this stuff was all there on the floor. It's crazy. These are all original copies, and they all sound fantastic on the record player. It's not a scratch or a filler on any one of these records. This is Thin Lizzy, Jailbreak. Of course, this has Jailbreak and The Boys Are Back in Town on it. Thin Lizzy, Bad Reputation. Look how clean this copy is. For an all-black album cover from 1977, man, you can't beat that. And finally, Thin Lizzy, Nightlife. One of my favorite album covers, and we're going to get into I have two album covers in here. It's simply some of my favorite that I have. This is Thin Lizzy Nightlife. Probably, I'd say Thin Lizzy Nightlife and Thin Lizzy Jailbreak are my two favorite of the 5 that I have. But they're all great. It's you know, these Thin Lizzy records are records that I could put here on the turntable and just let spin and really don't feel like I need to, you know, move the needle or anything else. They're just fantastic records. This next album, this is one that I found at a garage sale. I couldn't believe I found it. I paid $4 for this, and it's in really good condition. The spine is not in great condition, but the album is in really good condition. And this is Joni Mitchell, "Hissing of the Summer Lawns." And this is one of the best of one of her first. This is one of her first 4 records. I think this was the last of her first 4. It's just a great record, just fantastic. She's amazing. I talk about this record quite often. Love it. Got to get some more of it. UFO. Another band that some of my idols like Metallica and Kirk Hammett talk about all the time. Never gave them a nod all growing up, you know. But now I got to get all the UFO albums, man. This one right here, Making Contact. I put it on Let It Spin, on a bad song on it. Great, heavy hard rock album, UFO. Love this album, and I'm sure I'll love all the rest of their albums, which I will get. If you like guitar, and you're a guitar guru and a guitar guy or a guitar girl, you know who this next person is. And this is Joe Bonamassa, live from Nowhere in Particular. It's a double LP. Let me get this thing out and show you guys. My buddy Steve Baez got this for me. We both like Joe Bonamassa. It's a double LP. Bridge to Better Days, Walking My Shadows, So Many Roads, Indian Mountain Time, which is a fantastic song. Mountain Time. Slow Gin, another great one. Woke Up Dreaming. It's just, Joe Bonamassa is just amazing. Amazing guitar player. I talked about it before on my channel. I didn't know anything about Joe Bonamassa. And I was sitting in the living room. I was bored. It was probably 10 o'clock at night. I think the kids were in bed. I don't think I had my daughter yet. No, Maddie wasn't born yet. Camden, I had Camden. He was probably 4 or 5. He was asleep. And I was thumbing through and I came across, you know, in the guide on your cable, I came across on PBS, Joe Bonamassa live from the Vienna Opera House. And I was like, okay, let's stop and check it out. I was late. I turned that on and it was an acoustic performance by Joe Bonamassa with all acoustic instruments. So piano, guitar, maracas, harp. It was just, I was blown away at his guitar playing ability, blown away, and I've been a fan ever since. If you've never seen that performance by Joe Bonamassa, I'm sure if anybody's fans of Joe Bonamassa, they have seen it, but just look it up on YouTube if you can find it. It's Joe Bonamassa live from the Vienna Opera House. It's just simply fantastic. If you know, you know. Superb album, production, guitar, singing, everything about it, every song on here, Let It Spin. It's a fantastic record. Boston. This next one's another band I never really gave a nod to in the last 15 years, or just in general listening to. Kind of thought it was kind of like adult contemporary music or whatever. I don't know, because I grew up, if it wasn't hardcore, if it wasn't Typo Negative, Metallica, Alice in Chains, I just wasn't listening to it. I was very close-minded in that regard. But obviously, as I get older and my views change and my ears open up a little bit more, I shut this and open this. I rediscover bands that's been around forever that everybody already knew was great except for me. And this is Crosby, Stills, and Nash without Young. which, who can tolerate Neil Young for more than 2 hours anyway. Say what you want. Hard to get along with. Very opinionated guy, Neil Young. Anyway, just a fantastic album. I mean, low key, quiet, put it in, let it spin, just put you in a good mood. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Not the best copy, but a listenable copy. So this is on my channel before, obviously. This is Nectar. Remember the Future. It's an English psychedelic progressive prog rock band. I got 2 of their albums. This is the better of the 2 in my opinion. Just a great record. Another one that kind of takes you through twists and turns. You never really know what's going to pop up next. Great album, Nectar. Got some serious paper loss here, but the album is in really good shape. Show you guys. Let's see. Yeah. Passport. It's clean. I was not trying to get the light in the center. Anyway, yeah, Nectar, man. Didn't know anything about Nectar. See if I can get this in. Saw this at a thrift store. They didn't have a lot to choose from. This was the coolest album art that I saw. So I bought it and was pleasantly surprised. Now, one thing I do because, classic vinyl. Anyway, good classic vinyl in good shape to go out and buy is kind of expensive. So before I buy something, I like to stream it. So what I'll do is I'll be thumbing through records I've never heard of them before, like Nectar. I'll listen to a little bit of it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'll buy it, pick it up. But listening to that a couple times in the last month, that was really good. This is one I just showed on the channel. These next couple I have just showed on the channel. And man, am I stoked to have this record in the condition that it's in. This is Blue Oyster Cult. It's one of my favorite album covers that I own. Just a fantastic album cover. Front and back. I love how see how subtle? They just it's all the stars and they just subtly put a little moon right there. This is just, man, this album is phenomenal. Just a great, great record. I'm so happy to have this in my collection. It's an original Blue Oyster Cult. Self-titled. It's a 1972 pressing of that record. Showed this recently on my channel. This is Van Morrison, Astral Weeks. It's original pressing, 1968. Great record, man. Van Morrison. This is, I was talking to my buddy about it. We were at a pool on Saturday. I said, hey man, he had his Bluetooth speaker. I said, put on some Van Morrison. And I had no idea because, I know that album. I always confuse Van Morrison with Van Zandt. I'm sorry, kill me. But that album is so good, so good. I think I'll show it again. If you want to stream it on YouTube or Spotify, Van Morrison, Astral Weeks. I don't know if it's his first album, but it's got to be close. Got to be close. But he was playing Van Morrison. We were by the pool. And the more he played, the more I was like, oh, I didn't know you wrote that song. Oh, I didn't know you wrote that song. Oh, I didn't know you wrote that song. He had hit after hit after hit and didn't realize it. His early stuff is my favorite, though. Through and through, great album. This is Golden Earring. This is Three Dog Night, Golden Biscuits. Great, great record. Love every song on it, man. Every song on it. Every song on it. Masterpiece. Asia, Steely Dan. Just in great shape. This is an original pressing from 1977. Fantastic album. Oh boy. One of my favorites in my collection, Our Lady Peace, limited to 500 copies. I'm going to show it every time I bring it out. I have a lot of colored vinyl, but this one is one of my faves. It's on black and white marble. And I cannot find this anywhere on Discogs or on eBay for sale. I see that they had a lot of whites they issued, but I cannot find the marble ones for sale. This is let me see. Limited edition of 500 copies, individually numbered on white and black marbled vinyl. And you can see right there, this is number 150. Individually numbered, man. Everybody know this record? This is Santana's first album, I believe. Just great, man. Shredding. Love it. This is on Columbia. Let me see. Anyway, I don't know why they do that. I have to look this up on Discogs. This early 70s, I believe. Santana. It's a cool album art. If you look close, there's a human here, a human here, a human here, and then a human head here and legs here. Super cool. Trippy. I just featured this recently on the channel. This is a 2017 reissue of Bush Razor Blade Suitcase. The sound quality on this album is amazing. Amazing. CD quality sound. And just look at it's still really solid release. Really solid reissue. I talked about this record quite a bit on the channel. Yeah, Bush Razor Blade Suitcase. I think I'll listen. You know what? I think I'm gonna listen to this. I'm gonna set this over here. I think I'll listen to that when we're done here. And last but certainly not least, and I had saw these being opened on YouTube, and I showed this before. I bought all 5 of them. But the guy said that he had heard that it was the best sound quality of this album that he had heard had ever been pressed. And I got to tell you, I listened to this thing 5 times with my wraparounds. I got my record, you can't see it, but my record player's right over here to my left. And I've got some big wraparounds that I'll plug into the headphone jack. And there's nothing better in the world listening to vinyl wraparounds. Unless it's poppy. Now you need a good clean album to listen to with headphones because it picks up everything. And he wasn't lying. This thing was crystal clear. And now 5 times, I've said this before on my channel. For about a year straight, I would close my eyes. Growing up as a kid, my parents would be fighting, and I would put my wraparounds on. Back then, it was on cassette. I had this on cassette. Excuse me. And I would let this album play, and it would put me to sleep almost every night. And that is Metallica's very best work of all time, in my opinion. Ride the Lightning. And this particular pressing it just sounds great, man. I mean, it just sounds fantastic. I don't know what it is about it. I have another copy of Ride the Lightning on black vinyl, which is fine. It sounds fine. But this is almost audiophile stuff. I don't know. And this came from Walmart. So I like showing this one on. Got a hair on it there. But yeah. Got some stuff on here. You know what? I think I'm going to clean this record before I put it up. Yeah, I think I will clean it. But anyway, that's it. That's what I'm listening to right now. Those are my favorites that I'm constantly pulling out. I've got some others. I mean, I've got some other Golden Ear, or I got another Three Dog Night. I've got obviously more Metallica. I've got some live stuff. I've got the new Red Hot Chili Peppers, some Gordon Lightfoot, REO Speedwagon, some Megadeth, just a bunch of stuff I want to listen to. I'll listen to, but right now this is what I'm listening to the most. Anyway, what are some things that you guys are listening to right now? Please comment back and forth. You can ask anybody that's watched this channel. I've commented back to everybody that's left a comment. I want to be interactive in this community. What are some records that I'm missing out on? Please recommend for me. What are some great rock records that I'm missing out on that from the 70s that I can afford? Now, I don't want anything that's, I don't need Fraction Moonblood or Farm or Orangutan or anything like that. I'm not dealing at Noble Records. Shout out to you, buddy. But comment down below, and please, please, please leave a like. Turn those bell notifications on. I try to post a new video every other day, or at least not once or twice a week. Trying to get this channel to 50 subscribers. I really appreciate all the viewership on the channel. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.